Hi everyone, it's time for another edition of Coach's Corner. This week we're talking Ponca City High School football. The Wildcats go to Stillwater this Friday at the new Pioneer Stadium to take on the Stillwater Pioneers at 7:30 on Friday night. And Coach, Stillwater, after a one-win season last year, they've turned it around, haven't they?
They've come on strong. They're 4-1 sitting here right now, and there's some things we can do to them offensively against their defense that, we think can hurt them, but their offense is juggernaut good. I mean, they do a great job. Offensive line does a super job, and they're just going to zone everything. And then they've got the quarterback who can stand back there and just pick you apart. So we've got to somehow, God willing, find a way to attack him and put some pressure on him. They've got those receivers that can catch the ball and then run. So, it's going to be a scary week.
Now, Stillwater won at 9 last year with pretty much the same cast of people. They're a year older. They're seniors. Talking about Littell, their quarterback, who, by the way, is the only quarterback ranked ahead of your quarterback in the state right now. But they've got a receiver named Hester that can stretch the field, and then they've got an underneath guy, a couple of them. So, they have a lot of things working offensively. Defensively, probably about like everybody else. They have struggled to find a way to stop the other team.
Right. That's what's happening right there to them. But offensively, they're able to outscore everybody. So. Defensively, they're like I said, they got some holes where we can take care of, I think, and that gum offense though. I mean, it's just super. And they've got 4 receivers, and the Vester kid, they put him out there and move him around and give him the ball here and get him the ball there, and they got a running game. The tailback's good, and it's tough. I mean, we've watched them all weekend long, and it's we're going to have a great week of practice and bring our A game Friday night.
Well, they have a new coach, and he brought with him maybe a little bit of a new attitude, but they're playing pretty good right now. Tucker Barnard, who is from Fairfax, was an old Fairfax Red Devil and Woodland Cougar, played quarterback over there. So, sometimes you bring in somebody, get a little spark.
You betcha, and that's what it was. And he's running the run-shoot offense, what they ran over there at Shiloh Christian and over in Arkansas, Springdale, and it's all Malzahn's offense, and he's gone everywhere with it. So, they're doing a good job, and they're not fancy. They don't do a whole lot of things, but they're going to run the zone, and then they got their they've got them offensive package at passing game, which is phenomenal.
What do you make of this, Rob, as we sit here and we look at the Sapulpa game, in which you and Sapulpa combined for 79 points, and then Enid and Ponca combined for 86, and then Bartlesville and Ponca combined for 78 points. You've done this a long time. I've done this a long time. But it is truly an offensive explosion in high school football.
It is. I mean, it is. And you look on Saturdays and Sunday afternoons, and it's the same thing. And it just trickled on down to the high school level. And as a defense coordinator, you just pull your hair out because you can't. There's no way that you can cover all this stuff. The short passes and long passes, and they got the digs going across the middle, and there's just so much area on the football field you can cover. And then plus, when you don't get a rush on the quarterback and you stand back there all day long, you and I could hit people, and you and I could get open. And that's what's happening. And we've got people that we're trying to drop back, and we're having to use different personnel, to cover people, and we don't get the big people up front. And it's nuts. It's crazily nuts, but what it is. It's basically a fans game anymore. If you want to line up and you want to see some, come to the ball game on Friday night and see some points being scored, well, then you're at the right spot.
Well, we're lucky because, we can pretty much go toe-to-toe with most of these teams, and, it's just the 1 or 2 stops that you get. You don't really need a good punter anymore. You just need guys that can keep the chains moving and keep putting points on the board.
That's what it is. I mean, you sit there and you get a stop in a defense, then now it's your turn. And you have got to go take advantage of that, and that's, what we have not done that. Once we get the ball in our hands, we have got to go score. We've got to score every possession because that's what everybody else is trying to do. So, I know that sounds stupid. That's what we want to do anyway. But, at least keep the ball out of their hands and do the right things and run the right routes and blocking assignments and all that. So, it's totally an offensive game.
Coach, we beat Stillwater last year. Do you go back and refer to that film very much, or was that last year, this is this year?
It was last year, this is this year with the brand new coaching staff and all that. you know, you just got to go with, you just throw that out the window, and you know, the kids will have it in the back of their mind. Hopefully, you know, they'll be ready to go and all that stuff after, you know, last Friday's debacle. They, you know, that's what they're saying. Well, we got next week, you know. So, you know, you know, I think you know, kids just forget the next day to the next day, and then so they'll go on and you know, we can't dwell on what happened last year. I mean, we can't. I mean, I don't think we can even, because it's a whole different offensive scheme. Now, some of it's the same stuff, but you know, they're picking the speed up a little bit and then slowing it down and picking it up, moving it around, and they're using a whole bunch of different guys, you know, and moving the ball around with that deal.
That's why I asked, is that, you know, threw the ball a lot last year, but, you know, we were able to throw the ball and move it too. So unless you and I are missing our mark on this game, it's going to be another one, as you said, the fans will like, and the coaches are going to sit over there and just cringe at every snap.
Right, you know, that's what'll take place. Hopefully, we'll put ourselves in the position where, you know, we got a chance to, you know, win it in the fourth quarter. So, you know, that's what we're looking forward to, and that's what we've got to do, and we've got to have a great week of practice. And are we going to shut these guys down? No. I mean, it's not going to happen. I mean, you look around, you know, all the high schools that's going on right now, all the games that are going on right now, and it's, you know, nobody's shutting each other down. I mean, you might have, you know, 3 or 4 out of 160 scores that night that are, you know, 6-3, 10-7. Those old days are over. You know, it's 63, 40-something, you know, 28, 25, things like that. So that's what we got to do, just, you know, keep the ball out of their hands and methodically move the ball down the field.
It shows you how remarkable that 6 points we held Shawnee to a couple of weeks ago was. 6 points. Nobody's only scoring 6 points right now. But Stillwater Ponca's always one of those great games. Anything can happen. You go down there, great place to play, and Stillwater at their new stadium. And Ponca got them last year. And for 1 minute, if you look at those records, that's the one thing we want Stillwater to do. Is look at those records, because it might give them a little chance to be overconfident. Nobody better be overconfident in this district.
Right. I mean, that's, you know, you've got your Union, you've got your Wausau, and then the rest of us we're battling it out. And that's what we all talked about this summer anyway. So, you know, but you know, hopefully, you know, they miss up, throw some interceptions. You know, we've got to have some luck fall our way somehow, some way, and but we also got to create it. So, you know, that's just one of those deals that we'll just, you know, just got to go play.
Interesting stat. We don't have an interception this year. You know, we've got 2 fumble recoveries, but going into the 6th game, we haven't got an interception.
No, and you know, I brought that up, you know, this weekend and stuff, and you sit there and watch film. They're throwing, you know, have a bad game here, and Stillwater has a bad game here, bad game there, not throwing the ball right, and then, you know, then people against us where they're just online. So
Perfect.
I don't know. I mean, we've got to have some luck involved in it too.
Absolutely. Coach, thanks very much. Friday night, Stillwater and Ponca down in Stillwater. We hope to see you there. For Coach Fry, Phil Turney on this week's edition of Coach's Corner.